I get to love on someone today, if there's any kid at kids church, won't name any of them, but just any of them, I get to love on them today because my mom, in her out of the decision of her loving me, said, "Yep, I'm gonna give life to you." And so I was like, okay, I can do the same thing now. So if I put out the chairs on a Sunday or we set up our kids' church or something like that, I get to give love to someone because love was first given to me. And so my advice to you is walk through life with Jesus. If the way that love was first given to me was by God was actually through people who walked with me, through connect leaders that sat with me and talked to me and cried with me and called me and listened to my calls at 3 a.m., which is, I mean, as much as possible, don't do that. I'm looking at you, Favor Youth, to all of our Connect group leaders in Favor Youth. You can send this to your teenagers. Try not to. Like, don't call them at 3 a.m. being like, hey, ate, this is what I discovered. You know what I mean? Like, uy, may bagong Pokemon sa Pokemon game. Like, may bagong skin sa ML. Like, unless it's an emergency. But I'm just saying, hey, don't go through it alone. Like, whether you believe in Jesus or not, just don't go through it alone, man. There are people that we actually want to be with you. This might sound strange to some people. There are actually people out there that want to be with you in your tough times and won't see it as a burden, but will take it as pure joy to walk with you through that mess. Because you're allowing us to walk in our calling. You know what I mean? I'll always honor this guy. This is weird because he might see it. So one of our pastors, and I won't say his name just so it's not weird. I love you, Pastor Paul. Anyway, I'm sorry. Pastor, no, he said, I said like, hey, I guess, okay, church said like, we get Mondays are the day off because of course we're, Sundays, game day. So Saturday and Monday are kind of the days where we're not working. And so I knew as a volunteer before, he's resting on a Monday. I'm not going to message him on a Monday. I want to respect his rest. And I love it because when I said, hey, Pass, I'm going to send you something. Don't reply. I know it's your day off. Reply to me on Tuesday. He said, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I said, no, I know it's your day off. And he's like, so what? So what if it's my day off? And he wasn't saying, I'm going to message you on my day off. And, I'm still, even if it's my day off, I'm going to pour into you. What he was saying is like, hey, if you have something that's going on, even if it's my day off, I still care. Ministry is a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's something you live out. It's not a hobby. It's what you do. It's everything your life is. Technically, this right now, as I talk about Jesus, is ministry. I got you. Got it. Surprise. No, but technically it is ministry, right? And so what he was saying was, hey, I care for you on my days off. It doesn't change because I'm resting. And so I'm just grateful for that and for people like that. But I mean, just message. And he said, hey, don't worry, I'll have the discipline. Like if I'm with my wife and we're just having a time together and it's not urgent, I probably won't reply. He didn't say that, but that's what I got from the conversation. And so I don't remember what my point was in all this, but yeah, just don't go through it alone. All right. Is this good? Anyone learning? Okay. Are you still able to keep in touch with your friends from showbiz now that you don't do showbiz things as much? Yes, I am. I did say I'm one of those people that has a small, tight group of friends. I think there are people, like, I hope this reaches them. If you do care, about, yes, you can open your candy. We have people that are going to open it. That's fine. We're in a perfect podcast. We have people in our lives that, because of proximity, we're close to. And I do think I have some friends like that in show business. But there's just a couple of people that I actually want to just say, I love you from where I am now. And I hope this reaches them. So at the Yang Constantino, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you for always encouraging me. She prays and she cares. Sir Martin Rivera, one of the the men that just walks into a room, I just have so much respect, and I love you so much. Because you walk into I can't say this now. I can say it more openly now, because sometimes in showbiz it's like, are you saying it for the show or not? At least for me it was. But Sir Martin would walk into rooms and he just changes the energy of a room, and he's joy, he's passionate, and he brings that passion. I think I've learned how to have passion in public, partly because of you, Sir Martin. So I love you. Tito Gary is more than just an artist to me, to the point where I'm more impressed on the conversations I have with him off stage than what he does on stage. And that's not what I'm saying. Like, what he does on stage doesn't matter to me. It's just who you are off stage. Tito Gary is better than who you are on stage. I believe that. You're just such a wonderful human being. And who else? Tito Ogi and Mama Reg. I love you. There's people I care about so much, who are just always willing to listen. And I love that. I've observed this in Tito Ogi. Tito Ogi doesn't actually. He asks, "Hey, how are you?" And it's not one of those, "Kumusta? Okay naman? Okay." It's like, "Hey, how are you today?" And he takes his time and he cares. And Mama Reg is just so full of joy. And so, Sir Eric, I love him. Kuya Eric, Sir Eric. He's gonna get annoyed that I call him Sir. Kuya Eric, I love him, and he is just such a kuya figure, and he cares. He has disagreed with me about life decisions I've made, but I know it's out of care. And so I love Kuya Eric because he really cares, and I love all of them. And so the reason I say that is because those are people that I probably don't see all as much as anymore. But I'm loving them from afar, and I love that I have the relationship that I don't have to be with them all the time, to know that when I see them again, they'll be like, "How are you?" You know what I mean? And but the people of Darren, AC, Kuya Robbie, all these people, I keep in touch, and so there are a bunch of people there that I love. And to the people as well that, they're like, I know with the pace of show business, some people won't even realize that I'm gone, and that's okay. That's really okay. I have a huge, big part of my heart for the people, the production. I'll always love those people because they're just so lovely. But am I able to keep in touch? Yes. But I also know life is life. There are people I haven't mentioned. I haven't mentioned Dave and Maury, but they're just in my life. Like, we go to the same church, it's fine. There's a lot of people. And it's okay. I'm always a message away. Like, I know till today, if anyone from Showbiz asks, they said, "Hey, I just need a talk," or they need prayer, I know I'll be there. So I love them. You mentioned Pastor James and other pastors, aside from being a pastor, run a business. In the future, what do you have in mind to do aside from your podcast? Great question. So just speaking on pastors having businesses, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Absolutely. I think the dream of every pastor is to not be employed by the church. And I want that eventually too, because like I'm probably more privileged in this, but just the amount, maybe we can just talk about it. We've heard stories from abroad of mega churches and, pastors driving, Lamborghinis and, what was that? Private jets and all that stuff. And so I just want to say, if you want to look at how Favored Church does their finances, we have a financial audit, like a report, so a financial report that goes up every year. You can check how the church spends its money, how much goes to staff, to production, all these different things. We're very open with it. And so all you guys on Reddit, just God bless. I want to say, yeah, we're very open with how we spend our money. And there's actually a pretty strict process on spending and reimbursements and so on. And anyone in our church would know that. If you're a volunteer, you'd know that. So that's not hidden information as well. But the goal is that we have businesses that are private outside of the church. At least for me. Like, I want to do that. I've talked to other pastors on it. And, especially with how much people get accused nowadays, it's just like, you just have to live, like if you're doing an honest business and you're not getting that from the church, then great. Like, but the thing is, people can still be like, you're stealing money. But I'm like, no, I'm working hard outside of what I do. There are amazing pastors all over the Philippines that don't get paid, to work in the church, and they're doing full-time work in the ministry, and then trying and working extra hard to support their family. To all of you, I'm so encouraged and we're so blessed. And so that's just something I want to say. So that's my goal in the long term. I don't want to actually have to be paid. Shout out to, I believe great pastors in CCF. I'm not 100% sure, so I apologize if I'm saying I don't want to spread misinformation. But I think a lot of them, or some of them, aren't paid by the church because they have business that they're also running. So amazing to all of them as well. But my dreams, what are my dreams? My goal is the same thing. Doesn't necessarily matter what the business is, whether it's I have my own place at the moment. If I move somewhere else, I could rent that out. That's passive income. So that would be great as well, just to be able to, basically the goal of the business is so that whatever I do in ministry is covered, my family's provided for. That's just simply the goal. What that is, I don't have a particular desire. I thought the podcast would help with that. We will see if it bears fruit. We are in the process of dreaming, but we'll see. We'll see in the future what the future holds. I just want to provide for my family. Here's what I've learned. I'm a hard worker. I'm working on being an even better efficient worker. But I think when we work hard, it pays off, and we reap what we sow. So if I sow hard work, I will get good things, whatever form that looks like. So now, so how do you balance your work and church? I'm just curious. Well, technically, my work is in the church now. So I still do videos. So for context, Monday and Saturday are our days off, but we're shooting this on a Monday, and we spend a couple hours, and there's an amazing team that comes together and sets up. I think I'm so blessed, and I want to thank you guys as well, because we've actually got to the point where I don't have to be there in the setup, and the team is just that great that I can show up right before, so I can maximize my rest, shoot the episodes, and I can go, and the team is not, why are you leaving? Like, it's not a transaction. Well, technically part of this is a transaction, but no, everyone here comes and we do a job. But I love it because I think it's safe to say we all have great relationships outside of doing this show. So it's not like a transactional, just show up, but it's a great work. So part of it is efficiency and balancing, but again, my job is church, but there's my calling is church. So it's not like, I think that's been a great thing for me recently. I just want to share. Maybe some people in our church are listening to something out, but yeah, sorry for the weird cut potentially on having this. We just had to ask some of the construction to quiet down again. But yeah, just reading about reading for work and personal devotion time with God, and I think part of it's some of the same, but I just realized when you look after your relationship with God, it kind of helps you work better too. So it's great. What will you do if your siblings in Christ, siblings in Christ are slowly drifting away? What response are you going to make? Yeah, it's a great question. It's hard to answer without there being an actual example. Case to case basis to eh. Like, I don't know if I would say, hey, my sibling in Christ, but how would I say this? I have to put this in context for myself. Like, if I see, let's take a guy in my life, Nav, my one of my closest friends. He's our youth pastor. Shout out Favorite Youth. He's a great preacher, great guy. If he started showing signs of like starting to be a little weird, drifting away, which I don't think he would if he's just staying in community and staying, walking with God, going through all that. But I think just because of the relationship, I can be like, hey, call him out. Like, hey, first of all, are you okay? Is something happening that I don't know? If there's one thing I've learned not recently, but throughout the years of just being in church, never assume. Like, if someone's not okay, let's put this in a work format. If they're not performing, and again, we don't have that in church, like the performance stuff. But let's just say in a work, in something, I'm just trying to think of the business owners here. If they're not okay, then ask if they're okay first. If they're not doing well, if they've dipped in how their demeanor is, it can be sometimes it can be so quick to be like, get your act together. We got a job to do. But then it's like, did you ask how they are? And I have looked like an idiot in the last 6 years of my life because I've assumed that they're just lazy, but in reality, their family members passed away. and then you're like, I am so sorry, and so we have to be careful with that as well. And so, what was the question? I put it down. Oh, someone drifting away from the faith. I mean, number one, at the end of the day, you can't force someone to do something. Everyone has their own journey, and so, but if you have a relationship with them, you could, ask what's going on, walk them through it, and hear them out, and just point them back to the character of Jesus. No one ever dislikes Jesus. You know what I mean? No one dislikes the person of Jesus. Because if you look at what Jesus did and everything that he wants to give us and love and his character and his heart, no one's like, ugh, I don't want more patience. Like, I don't want more peace. I don't want more joy. I don't want forgiveness. You know what I mean? Everyone wants those things. But sometimes, historically, people don't like the way it's been delivered. And so, in general, if you have a relationship with someone, everyone would want Jesus. So at the end of the day, like, what's going on? Just have a conversation. It sounds like a very simple answer. I hope, but I don't think there's much more. You don't stand there and say, hey, let me preach a 3-point sermon so that you believe again. No, it's just, I don't think we have to over spiritualize everything. Sometimes it's just, how much do you care? Point them back to who Jesus is. How do you deal with persecution as a Christian, especially that you're a celebrity? I think this sounds like a great question, but let me break it down a little bit. I don't think I get persecuted as much as, like, my level of persecution compared to the people who have underground churches in their nations because they get killed if they believe. Like, my persecution is nothing. My level of persecution is sometimes when I go into a dressing room, they're cursing and they look at me and I'm like, oh, sorry, sir. Like, no, like, it's fine. I think my level of persecution is probably, like, I can't cry and be like, oh, it's so hard. But again, standing up for your faith is something that all of us, I believe, what we're going to do. And we all have a moment where, are you going to stand with what you believe or are you just going to crumble? Peter in the Bible, Peter's one of my favorite characters in the Bible. For those of you who don't know, Peter was a follower of Jesus and very impulsive. He had a temper. He chopped off a guy's ear. He cursed at a little girl, but he had great faith and humility in the end. And he said yes to the call of God and did a lot of amazing things. My point with him is, I forgot my point. My point with him is he was imperfect. God still used him. And so at the end of the day, their level of persecution that they went through and they experienced is nothing compared to mine. But just makes me feel better that there are people out there that God could still use. And so my point with this persecution thing, I don't think it's actually that hard, especially if you're just living out God's heart and being kind to people. Like, no one is going to be like, I think even the worst bully, now, of course, if they're physically harming you, that's something else. But if even the worst bully, you're like, hey, I hope you're okay. And I actually like your outfit today. And you start encouraging them. And even the hardest heart will melt to those type of things. So I think if you walk in and you're carrying the heart of Jesus and you're being kind to people, no one's going to be like, ugh, I hate that guy. And if it is, it's because it's exposing the issues that they have. And so your level of passion will expose the level of apathy. So I think I don't actually have that much persecution, but what I have had a lot is people don't agree with my life decisions. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, like, oh, you could be the next big host in ABS-CBN. You could be an actor. If you do this, you can get that. I just want to share. I actually shared this with someone close to me recently, and there was a video that I got. A video that I saw. Bear with me here. Help me stay on track. of a video from the U.S. of parents that would do extracurricular activities like sports. They would put them through, like college sports, collegiate sports, basketball, American football, hockey, all this type of stuff. And it was basically a video saying, hey, do you know why it's worth it to do all these different extracurricular activities, all these sports? Because if we look at the top 100 most wealthy people, the Fortune something, all like 95% of them were collegiate athletes. 95%. And if you do sports, it's basically showing that if you have a competitive nature, you're going to be successful and you're going to earn a lot of money. And the only thing I could think while watching that video is, why are we looking at the wealthiest people and making that our measurement of success? If I think I'm an extremely successful person, and not because of what I did in show business, just because I think I know where I'm going. I sleep well at night. I everything I do has purpose. I'm proud of what I do. If it's based off what is in my bank, I'm a complete failure compared to those guys. And newsflash, about only 1% of the world would be successful then. You know what I mean? Most people in the Philippines are therefore failures. If you've raised the kid successfully, you're an amazing parent, and I believe you're successful. If you, I don't want to condemn the people that earn much, and but you know what I mean? Does that mean if you're a parent and you raised a family of 5 and you've kept them hungry and they've gone through college and they have healthy families and they want to come home for Christmas, that means you're not successful because you're not rich as them? You know what I mean? So that was just something that was really convicting to me of like, okay, what's success for me? And I would encourage everyone, define what success is for you. But for me, success is really, okay, what has God called me to do? Am I doing it? Am I being faithful? Am I loving people as best I can? Am I growing closer to Him? That's what success is. I think I am extremely successful because I have learned how to journal and get closer to God better. And it's something that I've been enjoying. And so I think I'm successful. And so that would be my thing for all that. I think there's one last question, so I can actually do this, and then I have to go for a health checkup, actually. Is there added pressure in being a young pastor, especially when it comes to leadership, expectations, and earning people's trust? There's different parts to this. I think expectations, I just want to say I am blessed, we're blessed, but me specifically, I'm going to make it about me now. In a church staff that we have, I'm just blessed that we have amazing senior pastors, amazing pastors that are leading me, as me and other people lead other people. We're not a perfect church, but I think we're a very healthy church, and there's healthy expectations, which honestly I want that weight. It's like if Charlie works out, Tristan works out. If we were working out together and I'm trying to lift, what's a good weight? I don't know, 50 kilos. It's a lot of weight. But, let's just say there's a heavy weight. And okay, sorry, Tristan. I can't do that yet, buddy. Tristan's like, it's not that. Well, the bar's 20 and then 15. That's pretty doable, actually. Even I can, no, okay. Anyway, let's just say your own personal record. You're trying to get it. And you're really trying to get it. If I'm struggling and Tristan takes it off before I've tried, I'm just be like, what? Why the heck did you take it off, bro? Like, you didn't even give me the chance yet. And the thing is, we've been given a chance. Me, and I'm talking, when I say we, I mean some of the younger guys in our church. Even as a volunteer, you're given the chance to lift something. And it's like, why would you wouldn't want someone to take it off you before you've given it your all, right? And so there's weight that I feel. Yeah, everyone feels the weight of a responsibility. At the end of the day, there's a pastor is simply, well, it's a shepherd. You're responsible for people. And it's one of the joys of my life, the honors and the biggest privileges of my life. And I'm very proud to be doing what I do, and I love what I do. But there is a weight, of course there is. But it's also a weight that I personally feel is like, I want that because it means I'm walking in what God's called me to do. And if there's a weight, it's not a weight I want off my shoulders. It's a weight I want my shoulders to be able to carry. Because if I can carry it well, more people get to know Jesus. And if I carry it well, more people are loved on. The lost kids like me have more ates and kuyas that can speak to them. Schools are affected. People, families are strong. If there's one thing I love about Kids Church is that we get to have families that are healthy. And we love on the kids. They experience Jesus. They show the love of God to their parents. You know what I mean? It's just a healthy, and who wouldn't want a healthy nation? I'm very passionate about the Philippines. I believe we're gonna be the pearl of the Orient. I believe our government's gonna get strong. I believe our presidents are gonna have integrity, and I'm praying for our current president as well, that he succeeds, because I want our whole nation to succeed. Because if any president succeeds, the whole nation succeeds. So why wouldn't we be praying for whoever our leaders are? I'm praying for our barangay captains, everyone. We're praying for them, because if they do well, we all do well. So I'm not too fond of when we curse our politicians, or critique them too much, because we should be praying for them. We need them to be strong. So in general, I feel the weight, but I believe I'm graced for it as well. At the end of the day, a shepherd boy in David was called to be a king, and he probably didn't know how to do a lot of things, but he learned quickly and he did it well. Not everything well. He did some mistakes. I'm not trying to say I want to be like him, but especially when it comes to leadership expectations and people's trust. I think that last part, let me end it with that. People's trust is something I value. And this can seem performative because people in our church may be watching this, but I carry the weight of that. And that is something that every day I will have to look at myself in the mirror. And that's why I'm grateful for people that actually care about me enough to point out when I've done something wrong. And then all it comes down to is me putting up my hand and be like, I'm sorry. That's my fault. I got it wrong. I think I've had moments that I've had to do that. And I'm young and I'm learning, but I still believe the call of God is on my life, and God's with me. So I know that. And so that goes for every single person out there. If you're a young believer, if you're maybe a pastor out there, if you're someone that's kind of curious about their faith and watching this, if anything I've said sounds super weird to you, I would encourage you, have a conversation with people, with us. Of course, we've shown the details. You know where to find us. And if you're wrestling with something, just reach out. Like, again, we don't want any of you guys to go through this alone. And so we're literally a message away, a Sunday service away, a conversation away. And we'd love to talk about anything that you've heard here today. So, yep, hope you guys are okay. The trust is growing and building, but I just want to say, if you're watching here today and you need something, you need it, you know where to find it, come to us. We'd love to talk to you. So again, details of our services and everything that we do coming up on the screen right now, but I pray you're okay. Thank you for sticking with us here at the Painfully Human podcast. Maybe we'll rename it one day into something a little less pain related, because even as the podcast has gone on, I've grown, and as I've grown, things may look a little different. And it would be weird for a 25-year-old man to be doing something that he was doing when he was 16 years old. So as I grow up, things should change. Things should grow. Change is healthy, and things are good. I love you guys. I hope you feel good today, and I hope you're okay. We're praying for you this week. Love you guys. Deuces. Sign up for Kids Church. We need more men. Let's go, men. Come on. If you're in favorite church, come on, step up.